What is going on, guys? It is your boy David Clayton of KZR Racing, and welcome back to my F1 Manager 22 career mode for round number 4 today at the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. If you guys did miss the episode, please be sure to check out my channel. And without further ado, let us get into the details of the pre-race before Imola. Okay, on the email page, we've got two. That's the second chassis. We have a minor regulation change coming up, actually. Let's have a look. As you know, we may change the regulations that define Formula One's rules between seasons, make the sport fairer and competitors more engaging for fans. With these goals in mind, we are proposing minor technical regulations for 2023 season. Minor technical regulation changes will reduce the team's design expertise regarding the affected car parts. This will impact all teams regardless of their car's strength or weaknesses, so please vote with consideration to the fairness of the future of F1 as a whole. So let's have a look at these. Moderate regulation change, minimal regulation changes. So it's affecting the airflow, cooling. Oh, they're basically. Oh, it's 5% reset on the whole thing. There's also a moderate one which is 10%. I'm wondering if it's worth going for moderate or minimal, because the whole car is being affected. That's underfloor. Every single car part is being affected by this regulation change. So I think the best one for now will be the minimal regulation change. It's not because we desperately need to catch up to the midfield and that. So having a minimal one shouldn't affect us too badly. If we go for moderate, it's going to be essentially close to a hard reset, and that's something that we can't afford at the moment. Difficult. Yet we know it was a difficult race. That's the way we are now. Car 1. We also noticed braking performance on Sebastian Vettel. We haven't got a development point for Sebastian, unfortunately. But we do actually have one for Lance Stroll. Chassis, changed parts, and we're going to put this one on car 2. We're also going to manufacture 2 more for a Go Rushed as well. So that we should have 2 more parts than that. That shouldn't be too much of a concern. Okay, we have manufacturing complete, I believe, for 1 of the chassis. That said, so car part research unlocked. Technical regulations voting is complete. We know what our parameters are for car development next year. With that in mind, we should research for next season as soon as possible. So let's have a look. Oh no, it's gone. Oh, the past one is moderate. So he voted. Oh, it's 5 for 5 for the voting, but the tiebreaker voted 4. So who voted? Yeah, okay. So Alfa Romeo, Alpha Tauri voted for it. Haas, Alfa Romeo, ourselves, Alpine, and McLaren voted against, and obviously the top 3 voted for it. So I'm guessing the fact that the top teams voted for it had some sway in that decision. We got 44.7 million now, so we can afford to start doing this. If we do the wind tunnel, what is going to be that? 10 million for a new one. That's going to have to be... yeah, so we're going to go ahead and do that. 10 million. It's a huge hit for the wind tunnel, but I do feel it's needed. And we're also going to upgrade the design centre as well, and that's another 11.5 million. But I do feel that if I start making these calls now, that's going to benefit us a lot later on. And then we got the CFD, that'll probably be the next thing. How much is that? That's another 10 mil, but we'll worry about that later. I feel the wind tunnel and the design centre are much more important at the moment. Staff facility, scouting department, race simulator, yeah, that's all fine for the moment. And the operation facilities, yeah. So we can sort the rest of this out later. But for now, for definite, I just need to wait for my scouting on scouting department level 2. I just need to wait for the scouting to be done on the head of aerodynamics before I can negotiate with him. And then when he's done, I'll probably also do that and sort out Jack Dillon and get him in the car by mid-season. That's roughly where we're looking at the moment. So we're going to do the race prep and head into the weekend.
The hills of Tuscany are green to the south, but here in Imola the air is red hot. Welcome to Ferrari's turf for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. The track has been around since the 60s, but the first official Formula One race was held here in 1980. Let's see what excitement lies ahead this year. This is Imola, and it's an old school track with plenty of elevation changes and lots of corners. There's only one DRS zone here, but it follows the long straight right before Tamburello and should see plenty of action. At this early stage in the season, there are still plenty of opportunities for things to change. In this sport, there simply are no guarantees. What will happen this weekend? Only time will tell.
Okay, in the main hub, we got light rain already for the first practice session. Current track temperature, yeah. We're going to stick to the tried and true for us. We are going to let the AI sort it out amongst themselves for the first 2 sessions. So let's simulate practice 1 and see how things go. No different, no doubt. I'm not holding out for anything. Go down and yep, pretty much exactly where we've always been. 4/10 off the back in the midfield. Let's see what we're looking at. 52, 58, car parts, car acclimatization. Right, and then we'll go and simulate number 2 as well. Get that all done. So number 2 sorted. Leclerc still up top, and we're still ahead. Oh, well, at least in these 2 practice sessions, we're ahead of both Williams on the reg now. That's definitely a result, hopefully, of the chassis. Still not much on the confidence side, though. That's worrying. That's worrying. Okay, so before we go out this time, we're going to go into the setup and see what they're saying. Bad. Optimal on the oversteer. Braking stability is great. Cornering's good. So let me have a little tweak with this and see what we can do. Okay, so I've got it to there for Sebastian. So we will go into the run plan. Stick him out there for 20 laps, and then on the compound we'll put him on the medium straight away. We'll do a soft tyre run as well to help him get his track acclimatization up at the end. But that seems to be the whereabouts for Steb. Now, as for Stroll, where's he saying? He's bad on the oversteer, good, great, optimal on traction. So let's have a little tweak of this. Okay, he's come off optimal on his traction, but I feel that if we send him out like that and see what he says, because it's better all round for that setup. So we'll stick him on the mediums as well. Now we can go into practice 3. So now that should, if we go into his his setup, car setup. Yep, that's all set there. Tyres, he's set for the mediums. Okay. Let's get the guys out there and see what they can do. Okay, we've got the news from Sebastian. 71%. 71% on his setup. So, I'm not too sure where else to improve on that. We'll get him in. We'll get him in anyway, so we can see what we're doing on the setup. Just waiting for Stroll. There we go. He's come through as well with 76%. So he liked that one a lot more with his setup. So again, we'll call him in as well. And then, yep, they're both back in. So, no. Right. Let's see what Seb says. It's still bad on the straights, but great. 3 greats and a good, all things considered. Okay, we've had a tinker around with Seb's strategy again, or his setup, sorry. We've got that done. So now we will send him out again. Run plan, that's all good. Tyres, we're going to stick him on the softs this time. That should help with his times and whatnot. So we'll confirm that. Then we'll go over to Stroll, see where he is. Still bad on traction. Doesn't seem to be getting very much good traction. Give me a second with this one. Okay, I've only made one tiny adjustment to his traction, see if that works, because for whatever reason the optimal doesn't seem to give you the full story of the driver specifically. So we'll put Stroll on softs and see how we go when we reconfigure the setups. We've got a crash at turn 7 with Guan Yu Zhou. He actually says he's crashed. That's up to the toes of hairpin. He locks up, goes... Oh! He went really straight on there and took his entire front wing off on the wall. And that's definitely not going to do the Alfa Romeo bank balance any good. Yeah, Stroll had a bit of a lock-up somewhere. Oh, he's crashed at turn 7. Oh, no. Has he done the same thing as Zhou did? Gone straight on and took his front wing off? Oh, he has, hasn't he? Oh, no. That is... Stroll. Yeah, I'm going to have to call him in. He can't drive around with no front wing. Car parts. He needs a new front wing. Installed on car 2. We've got to rebuild one of them when we get back to the factory after this one. Yeah, it's the first instance of that. We've lost the front wing already. Practice error. It didn't happen during the race, so. But that's going to be. I hope Stroll doesn't keep making mistakes like that. That's not going to be going to be very good for the whole season as a whole. Right, he's currently on 56%, 67. Let's just stick him back out on the mediums. Just get this. Hopefully get this set up sorted. Sebastian should almost be done. At least I hope the thing reconfigures in time.
Coming in or doing any
Right,
more.
Seb's setup confidence is 89%, so that's pretty good.
Copy that.
We managed to zero in quite well on there, so we can call him in now. Actually, where is he on track acclimatization and that? LS on there, 100. Yeah, he's fine. So we can call him in now. Seb's actually done a good job. That's the highest setup confidence I think I've gotten so far, 89%. So I'm pretty happy with that. As for Stroll, we just got to wait for him to get his setup confidence sorted. There he goes. Yep, so it's just a matter of waiting right now. 69%, that's even worse than what it was before. So what went wrong with his setup? Okay, just before we go into qualifying, 89% confidence, 69%. I did have a think about it, and I'm actually going to revert to highest confidence for Stroll. I know it's not ideal, but it's the best we got for him at the moment. So we're going to leave him. We're going to leave him on that one, and then go into quali. Hopefully, Sebastian's on 89%, so I'm going to be interested to see how he fares in the race. Qualifying is going to be a formality again. I'm not I'm not expecting us to get out of qualifying again.
Yeah,
So let's get Stroll out early.
green light, green light.
Get him out on track. And then we will wait a little bit for Seb. Get a little bit of clear track in between the both of them. And then send him out now. Hopefully we'll see what these guys do on their first runs. Okay, Stroll's coming up to the end of his quali lap now. We'll ride on board with him as he goes through. He's the first one to set a time, so might as well get us at the top of the table at least once. And he's crossed the line 17.575. Seb will be the next one to come through. Let's see what he can do. 17.7 for Stroll, and it will be a 17.5 for Vettel. So Vettel's still got the edge, but that won't last too long. As we go through all the others, yep, Leclerc goes 2 seconds faster almost immediately than us. Just got to the end of the first runs now. So far, Zhou and Schumacher are below us, but I'm expecting them to eventually go ahead and overtake us. So we are going to send Stroll out now, get him on the track nice and early. I'm not too sure with Gasly, because he's still out on track at the moment. So now, here he comes now. He's just come into the pits. So we sent Stroll out now. He's going to get an early lap in. And then as soon as I see the first car leave the garage, I'll get Vettel out there as well. Right, Stroll's going through the final corners now, up to the line. Is he going to get an improvement on his time? No, he didn't improve. He must have caught up. He must have caught up to the pack of cars coming out of the pit lane before he left. So Stroll is out of qualifying again. Green first sector for Seb as he goes into Tosa. We'll ride on board with him until the end of the lap. Up the hill. Through the left-hander, down the hill, back down the hill to Akram and Arali now. I will say on the onboards on this game actually look a little bit faster than the F1 2022 game. It feels a lot faster at least. Anyway, green second sector for Seb. So he goes through Variante Alta now. Schumacher has put in his time. So he's half a second ahead. Again, I don't see Sebastian overhauling that, but we'll stick with him to the end anyway. Through Ravazza, the last part of Ravazza, and now to the line. What is Sebastian's time going to be? He only improved by a tenth. So still 4/10 off the thing. And then, yep, there goes Zhou. He goes out. So there we are. Same old, but we both do qualify ahead of the Williams cars this time. No checkerboard there. So the chassis has made somewhat of a difference at least. Right, here we are on the screen again. We're going to go and do the strategies now. Soft tyres. Well, allegedly the soft tyres go for, ideally, 23 laps would be their optimum range before you have to pit. Okay, with Sebastian, I'm going to do the one stop, but I'm going to go hards. Because if you look at the stint, the hards can last just before that cut-off line, the lap 43. And that gives us a 20-lap stint on the soft tyres. So I'm pretty confident with that. If the tyre wears like that, with Stroll, so I'm going to select that strategy there. That should be plan B, yep. I'm going to select that strategy for Seb. And then for Stroll, I'm going to, because I know he's a little bit harder on his tyres, unfortunately, I'm going to edit this strategy, but I'm going to have him on the hard tyres for only X amount of laps, so 37 laps, or 36, yeah, 36 would be better. And then I'm going to pit him onto the mediums, and I'm going to go a little bit harder with him. Have him use his tyres a little bit more. Seb, I know for a fact, his tyre wears a lot better. He can stretch that. He can stretch that stint and make it work. So hang on a minute. Why has it done that? Let me hang on a minute. There we go. Right, that works. I forgot to do update strategy, so I was just making a complete horlicks of it myself. I think I have to do the same with Seb again. Yeah, I have to. So do 43. Yeah, we'll do 43. That's the safe bet, and then that will do that. Okay, so that's all taken care of strategy-wise. So let's go into the race.
As the sun continues to shine, it seems like nothing can dampen the mood of excitement here at the track. And there's Sebastian Vettel. Slower than most yesterday, so today they'll be starting from the bottom half of the grid. There's Lance Stroll, down the grid. They're in the back half of the pack, so they'll need to work hard if they want a podium finish. The race start is mere seconds away. All eyes are on the race here.
Okay, here we go. There are 5 red lights once more for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. And we are away. So let's get Seb on to overtake immediately, because he's been pretty good at his starts. And, oh, he thought about going up past the guys in front. No, nothing came of it, unfortunately. So we're going to have him sit on neutral and see where this goes. Ricciardo's really... Oh, I'll just say that, and Stroll's just nipped past him on the inside. So he's now ahead on the alternative strategy. So, yeah, everyone else, medium, hard, medium. Latifi's on soft and Gasly's on soft. But, yeah, their soft tyres are going to burn out with the heavier fuel load and that. So we're going to, with Stroll, we're going to put him on aggressive because we know he's a little bit harder on his tyres than that. And then let him go about his business. He's going to pit first out of the two guys. With Seb, he's going to be going a lot longer, so I need to be careful with how I make him push his tyres and whatnot. So we're going to use see how Stroll goes. He's ahead at the moment, but the McLarens and that are all going to get away from them. That without jumping them off the line, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to keep pace with them at the moment. So yeah, we're already a second down at the end of the first lap to the McLaren ahead. So we're pretty much just doing another long test session at this rate and see how we can improve the car. But although I will say we have both guys are actually starting to slowly pull away from the Williams car, so that's definitely an encouraging sign for the aerodynamics and the chassis upgrade. So let's get these guys on push now and see if we can push away from the two Williams. If we're comfortably going to be ahead of the Williams like this for the whole race, then I don't. That's a small significant gain at the moment, but now that I've got the factory upgrades coming in and a better head of aerodynamics as well, hopefully the gains that we can make on the wings and that before the technical regulation change will be a lot more significant. When the research thing opens for next year, I'll stop development and focus on next year. To hopefully next year we can be, if we take advantage of that, if that's a little detail, we should be able to hopefully be solidly in the midfield next year. But yeah, fortunately, as we can see, we've already dropped the Williams car, so that's actually very encouraging. We've dropped the Williams cars by a healthy margin. We're already Seb is already 1.4 ahead of Latifi, and he's the lead Williams. So what we're going to do is we're not going to. What I am going to do with Seb, I'm going to do this now because he's already doing it. I'm going to ask him to not fight his teammate. I don't want him to be Don't want him to be doing that. Just want these guys just to follow each other and pull away from the Williams and just keep a steady pace the way they're going. So we'll leave that for Seb. Back out of that and go back up to here. So yeah, we'll leave the guys to it for now and then see how things develop later on. Oh no, almost immediately as I say that, Seb has run wide. Ah, Seb. And now he's already been overtaken. I only just missed that. He ran wide out of the final corner, yeah. I did tell him not to fight his teammate, but Multi-21 didn't compute again, did it, Sebastian? Right, so he's... that's definitely made things a little bit more difficult. He's fallen behind Albon, or... Yeah, it's Albon. So, yeah, we got to focus on getting him back ahead of the Williams car again. So far, even on the hard tyres, Stroll's not actually... His tyre wear's not actually that much more than Sebastian. That's actually quite surprising, in all honesty. So what I'll probably do, I'll probably afford to have him attack then instead. Let him go fully aggressive on the tyres. And then for Seb, we're using a lot more fuel now during this particular race. So he's on good ERS at the moment. So we're going to follow Seb until he gets to the pit straight, and then we're going to try and get him to push and overtake Albon. So we'll start pushing now, and then as for the ERS, as he comes out the final corner, go overtake. He's got the DRS, so he should hopefully. Oh, let's go, Sebastian. You're going to go alongside. Yep, there we go. We can go back down to neutral. Go back to balance. He's back ahead of the Williams. That was not so hard this time. That was actually a lot easier overtaking than it has been before. So, yeah, the drag reduction on the chassis, the focus on that has definitely worked out. It's definitely worked out a lot better for the cars. So hopefully Seb will now once again push away from the two Williams, hopefully. And we'll see how things go from there. Stroll, he hasn't pulled away massively, even though I've told him to attack on the tyres. He's not quite got the same pace as Sebastian, because Sebastian's already gotten a little gap to the Williams, but Stroll, sorry, he's not being dropped by Ricciardo massively though. He's only 3.3 behind after 5 laps, so yeah, he's definitely not being left behind, so to speak, but he's not keeping pace with them either. Oh, we had a spin from Zhou.
Now let's watch this. The Alfa Romeo.
What was this at? It was at the hairpin again. Oh, he spun at the hairpin. And I'm wondering, there goes that group of cars that Stroll wasn't far behind. Have we gotten ahead of them? Have we gotten ahead of Stroll? Is Zhou at the back? He is. Zhou is at the back. So that's definitely going to play a big role in this race. There he is. He's just come out of the hairpin. It won't take him long to catch back up to us. But at the moment, Sebastian hasn't broken away from the two Williams as I would have liked him to. He's not... let's have a look at the tyre. Albon's going to be with him for the whole race again, most likely, but Latifi's going to be stopping earlier than the rest of us. He's going on either a 2-stop, most likely, the way it's panned out so far. But yeah, 8 laps in, we haven't used a lot of tyre wear on us, to be honest. The Aston's really good on its tyres here for some reason. So I think with Seb, we're going to put him on aggressive as well. No reason not to. And then I better do overtake as well, because both the Williams cars are going to have DRS here. So I have a little bit of overtake to defend against the attack. Yep, he's done well there. Right, a little update. Zhou has caught up to the back of this this train here. with Vettel and the two Williams cars. He's not making any inroads though. Sebastian's been doing his thing on his own, keeping both the Williams at bay. Hang on a minute, sorry. Almost fast forwarded when I didn't want to there. So at the moment, we're still not using Stroll's obviously using a little bit more tyre wear, but then I've got him on pushing compared to Sebastian's aggressive. I can't play around with the fuel too much. We've been equalised on fuel for pretty much the whole race. So it's literally just playing with the DRS at the moment. But to be honest, Seb gets just far enough away ahead in that out of that final corner in order to keep Albon at bay. Albon hasn't really been able to make much of a move at this moment, and Latifi's busy with his he's got his hands full with Zhou at the moment. Right, quick sit rep again. Zhou has started making headway, and there you go, you see he's just gotten past Albon out of the hairpin, and now he's going to be on the back of Vettel prematurely. Did say it wouldn't take him long against these essentially backmarking cars, but yeah, Seb's done well to keep the Williams at bay, so it's going to be inevitable the Alfa Romeo getting past. It is a way faster car, so we're probably we've only got so many laps now, because Seb's going to lap 43 and it's only 14, and the tyres are still 82% for him, 79 for Stroll. So this is going to probably be one of those boring one-stop races, because these guys are not using any of their tyres right now. Let's go on to Seb. We'll see if we can hit some deployment on the overtake, because him and Zhou have pushed away from the two Williams, so I'm going to try and use this to our advantage and try and keep... Oh, no, Zhou had other ideas, and into Tamburello has gone clean round the outside. So that's that idea done, and that's allowed both Williams to close right back up to us again. Right, yes, so much for keeping the Alfa Romeo at bay for that run. Zhou just was not in the mood for that. Right, sit rep. It's taken Zhou quite a while to do it, but he has finally caught Stroll and overtaken him. It took him about five or six laps to actually catch back up to him to do that, but again, the inevitability, as I said, has happened. We're in the midst of all the pit stops now, so a lot of guys have pit. Latifi's already pit, and soft tyres, as I already knew he would. Slow it down now. Albon is still out with us on hards. Gasly's also pit. He's dropped behind Vettel, but he's pretty much on top of him on the map, as you can see, so it won't be long until he overtakes him. It's Gasly and Latifi. They're the only two that have pitched so far, but then again, they started on the soft tyres. So 18 laps then is what that's done. As we just saw there on the saw it on the thing. Gasly's overtaken Vettel.
Let's take a closer look.
Standard DRS overtake there. Down the pit straight, yep. So that's pretty much the thing. There was a brief yellow flag in sector 2, but nothing else has popped up. Oh, it's Verstappen again! Verstappen's locked up again. Oh my god! At Ravazza. This is the fourth race in a row that Verstappen has allowed this to happen to him. I'll tell you now, he's got to change something with his driving, that, because 4 times in a row he's locked up and cost himself a potential podium. He can still get back into it. He's already closing up to Perez now, but it's lockups he shouldn't be having, and he's fighting at the front of the grid. This is not the sort of performance that you want to be seeing from a front runner. As Sainz is pit from, I believe, the mediums now. So he's now on to, I'm assuming, the hard tyres. Yep. So he's going to be on the hard tyres. Perez and Leclerc, I don't know when they're going to be pitting. They're only at 56%, but then again, Sainz probably pit on that percentage. Perez is in. Perez is in on lap 25. So they're not taking any chances with the tyre wear. They're pitting really conservatively here, it looks like. Verstappen's back up to second, but he's I believe he started on the hards as Leclerc's now in. So Verstappen's going to take the lead, but I can't imagine that being. I can't imagine it staying that way because Leclerc's now on fresh hards. So if they're pitting on lap 25 for mediums, what are they going to pit? They're going to pit what, lap 38 off the hards? And by that point, Leclerc will have already caught up to Verstappen. So a whole gaggle of cars have just pitted as well. That's allowed both Stroll and Vettel to move up to 14th and 15th respectively. I am going to now start putting these guys back on standard now because they've used quite a lot of their tyres to get to where they are. And I still need Vettel to get to lap 43 on his strategy.
Back off.
Whereas I need Stroll's only going to lap 37, but I still need him to get there on 57% tyres. So we'll see how that goes. The tyre wear seems to be okay around here anyway. So hopefully now he's on the back of Gasly. So if they do this trick again where he sticks with Gasly in the DRS, that might pull him along a little bit. But we'll see. We'll see. It's we're still only halfway through. We're still only coming up to halfway through the race yet, so we've still got a ways to go. Right, we've just come up to Stroll's pit window, and I'll tell you what, both Stroll and Vettel have been running pretty solidly in 12th and 13th. The McLarens, even on their fresher hard tyres, the McLarens haven't really been able to. Well, they've only just started catching now. They have been making inroads, but it's taken them so long to start getting in within range of the DRS like they are now. I'm not too fussed at the moment. Vettel's going to be going on until 43 onto the softs, but Stroll's going to be coming in the next 2 laps. His pit window is just open now. So Stroll's going to be coming in soon for the medium tyres. And hopefully, depending on how that goes with Vettel, on the softs at the end, he's going to be on a much lighter car at the end. But what I will do for Vettel's stop is I will conserve on pit entry to save his fuel, because I haven't really played with the fuel very much in this race. They've literally been sat balanced around 0 laps of fuel, so that shows how much fuel you're using on a power circuit like this. And then in the background, Vettel has now got Norris for company, but Norris is not quite going to make a move there. But that's going to be an inevitability. He's already caught up to Vettel, and Vettel has got to stop again, so it doesn't really matter too much. So now Stroll comes into the pit lane there. He peels off. As for Sebastian, he's close to Norris. Let's see if we can overtake to pull him down the straight. He's not going to overtake him, I know, but if we can just keep with him as best as possible. He's in a McLaren sandwich, so he should ideally keep with him. Stroll has now dropped down to 18th. He is behind Albon, but Albon I know has got the pit at some point too, so that's not too much of a problem. If we go there, Stroll, he comes out there. He is, how far is he behind? Oh, he's only 1.4 behind Albon. Yeah. That's worked out perfectly. So we're definitely both finishing ahead of Albon now. That's pretty much given, because he's now he's several seconds behind Vettel, and both of them have got to stop. So yeah, we've got that pretty much covered for both drivers now. Okay, Seb has just pit for his tyres. He's now going to come out behind Albon, but again, Albon has still got to make his stop, and there goes Stroll as well. So Stroll's ahead at the moment, but he's on mediums while Seb is on softs. And if we look at the timing screens at the moment, these are all yeah, Seb's getting that by a whole bunch of cars. Now, there goes Stroll. Actually, I thought that was someone else. It was one of the Mercs. I thought that was Stroll that got ahead, but there's Stroll now. Stroll, Seb's on faster tyres, so I am going to tell him not to fight his teammate. Seb's on faster tyre, might as well let him go. And then, we'll take over the overtake Albon eventually when he stops. He's only 3 seconds up the road from Stroll. And we'll see where things go from there. Okay, there's been a crash somewhere on the track in Sector 3. Vettel and Stroll are still fighting hammer and tong. It's Tsunoda that's crashed at turn 7. Is it going to be the lock-up straight into the wall? Yeah, there's the lock-up and there's the crash. So Tsunoda's completely missing a front wing now, so that means we could potentially gain an extra position. I'm starting to get a little bit annoyed at Stroll here. Don't fight your teammate, Stroll. Do not fight your teammate. We don't need any incidents right now. So we're going to leave that there. Tsunoda, at some point, I believe, should be coming in. Yeah, he's completely missing a front wing. He's going so slow. Gasly's catching up to him. Albon's here. He's got to come in at some point. What are his tyres looking at? 40%. He has to come in. He's been taking those tyres long. He's been going uber long on that strategy to try and cover us off. But there's Tsunoda in the pit, and Albon continues for another lap. And here we come out the final corner. So we're going to go overtake mode and get Seb to pull us along. Go back there. Where's Tsunoda? Tsunoda has dropped behind. Yeah, there he goes. There was another car in the pit as well. What car just came out of the pit there? Ahead of Tsunoda. Oh, it's one of the Mercs. Oh, they're not. That's fine. They're not in our race. But yeah. So there's the intervals now between these two. We can take Vettel off overtake, but Stroll is still keeping pace with Vettel, even on with Vettel on the soft tyres. So it's really weird. Really weird how this sometimes the mechanics of this game works out. But we've got Tsunoda behind us. 17 seconds, that looks like. 17.5 to Stroll. And so far, Stroll is saving more fuel than Vettel at the moment. So if okay, we're going to swap this around. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take Stroll off Don't Fight Your Teammate. And then get him to push a little bit on his fuel. And Seb, I'm going to reverse the role. He's coming onto the straight now. Don't fight your teammate. Let him go. There we go. So that's now swapped around. Stroll's going to push on. He's got the fuel for it. And then we'll let Sebastian... Stroll's actually picked up the pace and he's gone. He's already gone. That did not take him long to get a move on there. Does he really have that much pace over Sebastian? I'd be shocked if that is the case, but either way, we're going to leave these guys for a little bit longer. Coming on to, we're on lap 48 ourselves, everyone else is on lap 49. And then see how things go later on. It depends on what Tsunoda does as well, because Albon's now pit now. He's finally pit himself onto the softs. So he's going to be pretty quick. He's going to be pretty quick, and he's 11.1 seconds behind Sebastian. But Tsunoda has got to get through him first before he can get to us. So I'm hoping Albon does a bit of a solid here and keeps Tsunoda back a little bit longer to make it easier for us. Oh, we have Tsunoda again making a mistake, running wide. Oh, he only went over the curbs a little bit at turn 1. That's not really anything too damaging to his race. And we just had another one of Albon running wide as well, and he did the same thing again. Not really. It's not really running wide there. He's just gone over the rumble strips and slowed down a bit, but it's nothing too damaging again to his race. But we're safe from the Williams at the moment. Oh, Russell spun at turn 7, the hairpin, while fighting his teammate, and around he goes. While fighting his teammate for 5th place, I believe that was. Oh no, what happened there? Oh no, Seb just locked up and went into the wall. Oh, he didn't go in the wall, but oh no, Sebastian. Oh, way too hot into Ravazza. Oh no, that is not good at all. Where is he now?
Big lock up there.
He's still ahead of Sonoda, but where is Sonoda on track now? Where is Sonoda on track? Where's Sonoda on track? He's only 2.8 behind now. Ah, that's not good, Sebastian. Oh, at least the car wasn't damaged. That's the main thing, and he's still ahead of Sonoda. But oh, that was a heart attack moment we definitely did not need, Sebastian. We need to be more careful, bud. Right, here comes our race leader, Charles Leclerc. Another dominating performance, 25 seconds ahead of Sebastian Vettel. He rounds Ravazza to the line. He's going to make it 3 wins in a row and wins Ferrari's home race at Imola. Fantastic for them. Leclerc ahead of Verstappen. Verstappen's finally going to get his first podium of the season despite the lock-up earlier on at this very corner, in fact, where he shot off into the gravel. He's actually made amends. He's come back to finish second with the fastest lap as well. Sainz not far behind, being chased to the line by Sergio Perez. It's a double Ferrari podium at Imola. And as for our guys, here's Stroll now on the back straight. We've actually taken advantage of the situation. We've had very good pace this race, not going to lie. We've had very good pace compared to the Williams. Not so much overwhelmed by the other guys around us, even though we're still like 26 seconds back from Schumacher. But still, it's a lot encouraging when we're not so overwhelmed by the Williams cars. Stroll gets 16th place. Both cars, hopefully, if we get to Seb, there's Sebastian, 17th. We both finish ahead of another car that isn't a Williams in Yuki Tsunoda. So definitely we had the pace to take advantage of the situations that came our way this time. And that's definitely a good sign in the long run, hopefully. So when we start getting the underfloor and rear wing parts coming to the cars, we should hopefully be able to challenge the midfielders this time. So the long run pace is definitely better than the qualifying pace at the moment, for definite. But I'm I'm okay with that. I'm not too fussed about qualifying. Not too fussed about qualifying as yet. It's just the long run pace, getting the cars up to speed and regularly challenge the midfield. Because if we have things like that with drivers making mistakes and we're up in the higher part of the midfield, we can actually then start scoring points. So there's the final result. Leclerc ahead of Verstappen and Sainz. Verstappen finally getting that podium with the fastest lap as well. That's going to be a big boost for his confidence and hopefully start to win races and really kick off his championship defence with the Red Bull team. Sergio Perez finishes in 4th. He's still in the fight. But he was, again, completely outclassed by Leclerc. Leclerc was in a world of his own today. Dominating performance from him. Hamilton in 5th, Alonso, Bottas, Russell in 8th, Ocon 9th, and Magnussen picking up another point for the Haas team in 10th place. If we look at the driver standings, Leclerc now 20 points ahead of now Carlos Sainz. Is now a Ferrari 1-2 in the Drivers' Championship. Sainz only a point ahead of Perez though, but it's still good consistency from the Spaniard. Sergio Perez in 3rd, 14 points ahead of his teammate in 4th. Then the two Mercs, Alonso, Bottas overtakes Ocon, and Lando Norris is rounding out the top 10 in the standings. In the Constructors, Ferrari increased their lead to 36 points ahead of Red Bull. Mercedes exactly half the points of Red Bull behind in 3rd, still solidly ahead of Alpine though. Alfa Romeo, they increased their lead over McLaren, who again finished outside the points. AlphaTauri and Haas, and there we are, still in 9th with no points to our name at the moment. But hopefully by the end of the season we should have at least some points to our name. I'm hoping to score at least some points this season. So going through all this ordeal here. And then we're going to go back to the main hub. Hopefully there's the income of all our earnings. But yeah, again, another solid race. We're convincingly faster than the Williams now with that chassis upgrade. It won't be too long either before the rear wing comes in and then the underfloor. So hopefully we can then start challenging the back of the midfield and working our way up from there. We've got the developments for the wind tunnel and design center as well. And hopefully by the next episode, we should have the scouting done on our head of aerodynamics so we can get him signed to boost us even further. So for now, guys, that's going to be the end of this episode. Do leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to turn on notifications as well so you don't miss another video. I am David Clayton of KZR Racing, and we'll see you next time for the Miami Grand Prix. Goodbye.